It's always a tough task organizing a pretty amazing discography into a ranking system. Rihanna doesn't really have a bad album, to be honest. However, Rated R really deserves the bottom spot, and here is why. Besides main singles Rude Boy and the seemingly time-forgotten Rockstar 101, the rest of the album has not aged well at all. As a kind of strange attempt to prove herself edgy and different, Rated R fails to keep the listener's attention the whole way through, haphazardly switching genres in a way that is nowhere close to gripping or intriguing. Number 7 on our list is A Girl Like Me. Rihanna's second album and the rather quick follow-up to her debut album Music of the Sun. There's a reason that this album features a remix and a sequel to 2 different songs from her first. It needed the help. While the album is by no means Rihanna's worst, if such a thing exists, it does feel like her most lackluster and rushed, sans timeless and iconic hit SOS. However, you can definitely feel Rihanna coming into her own on this album, with tracks only she could have pulled off. Number 6 on our list is Music of the Sun. Do you remember the dance floor when Pon de Replay was played? The floor was filled. This album feels timeless, despite it being Rihanna's first ever foray into music. Mixing her Barbadian upbringing with timely R&B nuances perfect for the mid-2000s, the album is a classic. I mean, have you heard Let Me? The song is the definition of 2005 energy. Number 5 on our list is Talk That Talk. Breaking into the world of mainstream pop, and losing most of her R&B tendencies and Barbados influences, lead to the birth of Talk That Talk. This album was at the forefront of the trend of pop songs which had a chorus that consisted of mainly just a beat breakdown, which can be seen across multiple songs. But the bangers don't end on this album. Definitely, this album is a showcase of how experimenting and trying something more mainstream doesn't always equate to selling out your authenticity or unique sound. Biggest hits on this album were We Found Love and Where Have You Been? Number 4 on our list is Unapologetic. Ask any fan of Rihanna's and most will tell you that they have a love-hate relationship with Unapologetic. While the album is top to bottom filled with some of the star's greatest songs, it by no means the most accessible, requiring a few listens to fully appreciate. Starting with Runway Jam fresh out the runway and ending with the drum-heavy Lost in Paradise, the album can easily feel messy at times. However, it brandishes how to mix genres the right way, and ironically, does so in an unapologetic fashion. Diamonds and Stay were the biggest hits on this album. Number 3 on our list is Good Girl Gone Bad. 2008's Good Girl Gone Bad undeniably put Rihanna onto the map, with songs that have defined the late 2000s all across the album. Even the deep cuts of the album are pretty addictive. It's just a pure celebration of pop and R&B blended together perfectly right. Also to be commended is how the album fuses Rihanna's darker side on tracks like Breaking Dishes with her more playful side on Push Up on Me. Biggest tracks on this album were Umbrella, Don't Stop the Music, Disturbia, Take a Bow, Shut Up and Drive and others. Number 2 on our list is Loud. Do you remember when the timeless hit, S&M was banned in 11 countries? Red-haired Rihanna was something else. It was a period of the artist's most addictive and beautifully created songs, without feeling disingenuine to Rihanna herself. The album proved that the artist wasn't just someone who relied on singles but could create a top-to-bottom album experience as well. Endlessly addictive from start to finish, there are very few flaws on Loud, which lands it as Rihanna's second best album to date. Number 1 on our list is Anti. Anti is Rihanna's most exceptional album to date. The record does things that most pop stars, R&B stars and musicians in general, wish they did instead. It was ahead of its time in multiple aspects. Anti mixes musicianship with gut-wrenching mood on tracks like Love on the Brain, and also introduced the world to the endlessly addictive work. On top of this, Anti was the first album that Rihanna admits to being something she's wholly proud of. The artist made the music she wanted to, and it all translated so beautifully.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, follow me on my Instagram account and support our channel by becoming a patron on Patreon, and with a bunch of rewards help us creating together a great content with your favorite artists. Bye!